All right, hello.
Hello.
Well, let me.
Hello, Mark.
Let me
Mark,
introduce
hello.
this first, please.
You have to introduce us, Mark.
A bit of decorum. Let me introduce the episode.
Mark, you need to
Hello.
introduce us.
I'm trying.
Mark, listen, Mark. When you talk about decorum, Mark, when you say decorum,
Yeah.
you don't know what it's like to live in South Africa, Mark. Because
No.
Oh, Mark,
it's
you
not
do not
easy
know.
living there, Mark.
Can
so
I have a guess?
No, Mark.
Can I have a guess about what it's like
What?
living in South
You
Africa?
can guess, but you listen, Mark. You
I have
can
a
guess
guess?
about what you think it's like. I bet you think this is what I bet you think. I bet you think it's cheetah. Look at the cheetah. Go
You
see
go on
some
the little
zebra.
safari. Well, you're talking
Good-
about
not
Animal
what I
Kingdom, Mark. You're talking about a park in the Walt Disney World Resort, Mark.
It's not
in
the
South
Lion
Africa.
King. It's not the
It's
Lion
not
King.
fake, Mark. It's not the Lion King. It's not the Lion
There's no
King
Elton
part
John.
1. It's no Lion King
not-
Part 2. I'm not even talking about Lion King Part 2 that's coming out from the director of Moonlight, Mark. This is a true story. I'm not
What?
talking about that.
What?
The director of Moonlight is doing
Mark, he
a
already said he's not
photorealistic
talking
Lion
about
King
that.
2.
Is it going to be
Do you
based on
understand?
the Lion King 2 cartoon?
No, it's going to be based on it's going to be Mark. Mark, do you understand?
What?
It's going to be Godfather Part 2, but Lion King. It's going to be Mufasa as a boy and Mufasa as a cub but this is the thing, Mark. Even the most respected director, you could get in the Moonlight Man to make Lion King gritty and real. And it does not matter because that is nothing, Mark.
That's not South Africa.
The only film, Mark, that is anything like South Africa is the park.
Can I introduce the fucking podcast? Can I
Mark.
introduce the podcast?
You very
Mark.
rudely interrupted me there.
I did not. You both interrupted
Mark,
me.
listen, Mark, listen. You need to. He's telling you about the one piece of art, one bit of narrative that you could go out and find to actually learn what it's like to be in South Africa, and you interrupted him.
Is it the
Mark.
power of one?
Yes, it is, but also District 9. But District 9 uses metaphor, Mark.
Mark,
I
it's
do
got
understand
prawns.
metaphor.
With the prawns.
Mark, but I've got to say, Mark, I'm actually a little bit disappointed in you.
Oh, fuck,
To get serious
why?
for a second here. You interrupted me. I'm trying to introduce the podcast, talk about the power of one, and you go, oh, hello. Let me talk about, Chadston Shopping Centre. You know what I mean?
You're talking
Let me
about
talk
Lion King
my
over here.
hobbies.
Talking about Lion King.
Have you seen The Lion King, Mark?
I've
The
seen
real one.
Beautiful film. It's
I've
like
seen
South
it.
Africa.
The fat man from Chef, he made it, Mark.
Yes,
he
John
goes,
Favreau.
he went to Africa, Mark, and he filmed real lions. He got them to act and
I
everything.
don't think
It is
he did.
amazing,
I
Mark.
don't
The
think
fat
that's
man
right.
from Chef, Mark.
The fat man.
Mark,
He loves
the
a
fat man
Cubano.
from Chef,
He loves a
he said-
Cubano.
What's this?
He loves a
Listen.
Cubano.
What's a Cubano, Mark?
Mark,
A
Mark,
sandwich.
you,
I've
you
never
might-
heard of a Cubano in my life.
Isn't that
Mark,
the
were you
sandwich?
walking around, Mark, having all different kinds of food, Mark? You're just going out, maybe go for dinner, maybe have
I'll have a
McDonald's for
Cubano.
dinner.
What
Maybe
is this, Mark? A Cubano?
So I'm looking it up on Internet Movie Database. A Cubano is like a sandwich that's got
it's the
pulled
sandwich
pork.
from Chef. I don't know why you
Yes.
keep talking
yeah,
about
we
the
know to
sandwich from Chef,
Cubanos,
Mark.
Mark. You don't have to talk down to us. You don't have to patronize us.
So the fat man from Chef.
The fat man from Chef loves a Cubano.
Mark, I've got a question for
The
you,
big
Mark.
fat man, he made Lion King.
Isn't there a part in Chef? Look, I have not seen Chef.
All
but
right,
is-
wait, I've just got one question, right? And this is more for the performers, all right? Has Mark gone all fucked for you, Sam, in the
Yes,
audio?
yeah, and I
All
know
right,
why.
that's
and
great, that's great.
I've fixed that. So
This guy
Tom-
walking around, not even checking his microphone. This is
No,
what it's
no,
like
no,
to live in
no. It was
Australia
good.
for
It
him.
was good at the start, and then just I accidentally hit my mouse wheel.
Mark, I don't
Bumped
care.
that.
Mark,
You're talking
Mark.
behind the curtain here.
Mark.
I don't care. Tom will probably fix it. You'll sound like a crazy person, Mark.
Can I introduce the podcast?
No, Mark, it's too late.
No,
You
it's
missed
not
your-
too
You've
late.
left it
No,
too late.
there's time. There's still
You've
time.
left it too late. You need to introduce us. You need to talk about who we are. But
Have you
it's
seen
too late.
Chef, Mark?
I've not.
Chef's
I've
very good. He makes
half seen. I've
Cubanos,
half
Mark.
seen Chef. I've seen bits
Mark,
and pieces.
it's
of
a
Chef.
story of a chef in Los Angeles, Mark, and he gets angry at a reviewer.
right?
Mark, he gets so angry at the reviewer because you've got to understand, right? Okay, Mark, it's the story of a chef.
It's about a reviewer.
Disney and Marvel, they say, you're not allowed to make Iron Man 2 more interesting. You created, I'm successful, we're successful because you made an interesting Iron Man 1. But for Iron Man 2, you have to make a little chocolate pudding. And then the reviewers are mad at him, Mark. Do you understand?
Right.
So it's the story of Iron Man.
Is it the story
when he
of
makes
Iron Man
risotto,
2?
Mark, when he makes risotto, that's an analogy for the films he's made.
So you understand, Mark, that the man from where he dresses as a lady, the actor, Dustin Hoffman, right?
Yes. Tootsie.
Yeah, Tootsie.
He's
Talking about Tootsie.
He's Bob Iger, right? All right? He's Disney. He comes in, he goes, no, instead of Iron Man 2, you make a little pudding, right? And then the reviewer, right, is the movie reviewers, and he goes, Iron Man 2 is rubbish. And he goes, I wanted to make a good Iron Man,
It wasn't
But
very
they
good.
made me, do you understand the
But then he
analogy?
goes out to the little truck, Mark. He goes out to the little truck with his boar and John Leguizamo, Mark.
Yeah.
You understand this, right? It's John Leguizamo, right? And it's a little boy.
But
and
the truck, Mark, is an analogy for the film itself, Mark.
Right.
For the film Chef
truck.
or the film Iron Man 2?
Listen,
truck.
Mark.
I am!
The truck
Mark.
where he sells Cubanos, right, is Chef, right? It's a metaphor for the movie you're watching. It's like, I did Iron Man 2, and now I need to do Chef, right?
It goes viral on Twitter.
Because it goes like, the movie goes viral on Twitter, right?
Right.
And the little boy, right? Do you understand this, right? The little boy on the truck represents John Leguizamo in the film, right? Does this make sense?
And never
I'm
pissed
not
on.
following.
Never
I'm not
pissed on.
following.
Right, do you understand here, right? He goes, he gets onto the little truck, Mark.
Yeah.
Do you understand this, Mark?
They
John
clean the
Leguizamo.
truck as well. It gets on, it's dirty.
Does John
When I
Leguizamo-
thought- Listen, Mark. When
Yeah.
I first saw the film, I thought, look how dirty this truck is they bought.
It's too dirty, Mark.
Disgusting. How can you cook things? But then they clean it, Mark.
Mark, they clean it up, Mark. They make it look beautiful. And that is the metaphor for getting Robert Downey Jr. into Chef for a cameo.
It's
understand?
Robert Downey Jr. Does he play Robert Downey Jr.?
No, Mark, you're thinking of Robert Downey Jr. in Chef, right?
Yeah, does he play himself in Chef?
No, he plays like the ex-boyfriend of the lady from the homophobic sitcom.
The homophobic
The
sitcom?
sitcom that pretends to be progressive but is a little bit homophobic, Mark.
Sex and the City?
Modern
I don't
Family,
know.
Mark.
Modern
What?
Family, the lady from
Modern
that,
Family.
Mark.
Oh, right.
So she's in that, right? And she used to date Robert Downey Jr. But this is plot, Mark. You've got to understand, right? When they clean the truck, right? So that is like the producer of Chef comes up and he goes,
Yeah.
the script is great, but it's too dirty, right? It doesn't have cameos. And then John Leguizamo is like the casting director, right?
Right.
He's a metaphor for the casting director. And he comes in and he puts a cameo by Robert Downey Jr.
Puts a
in the
cameo
truck.
in there. Like, they
you
put
understand?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. is the cleaning of the truck.
So
John Leguizamo is the casting director of the film, the little
And the
boy.
boy.
And when that little boy is John Leguizamo.
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
So all right, okay. So here's my question. This is all I
right.
want to know. I have not seen Chef.
That's a good film,
I'm
Mark.
not. I don't think this is right.
Right.
But does John Leguizamo play a young John Favreau?
No, what?
What are you talking
What are you talking
Mark?
about?
Is that what
This
you're
is
saying?
typical of someone who did not grow up in a place with. He grew up in a place with privilege.
Yeah, he grows with privilege. He watches his movies. He goes, "Oh, that was fun."
I bet
Now
you eat
goes,
cereal
I
in
don't-
bed every morning. You get all your
Oh.
little Fruit Loops and you sit in bed all day. Oh
I
my
bet
god!
you do, Mark.
What do you-
And we did the same thing, Mark. Don't get me wrong, but we were worried
No.
about like getting robbed and stuff while we were having our cereal in our mansions.
I've lived in wealth my entire life, but you don't understand because you did
But
not
you have
grow
to
up
understand,
in South Africa.
Mark. Mark, you have to understand. My great-grandfather, he worked for this wealth. He earned it, right? My great-great-grandfather. So that's why I go to a good school.
He acquired all this land, Mark. You don't just.
You've got to
he went
understand
out and he
that.
worked his ass off, and he took all this land. He didn't just
When he
get
came to
given
South
to him.
Africa, when he got on the boat, all right? Well, he bought the boat.
Yeah.
And then he came over, right?
Yeah.
And he took the land, right? And he
Yeah.
worked hard.
He woke
That
up
is
at
what
6
my
in the morning
grandfather did.
every day. 6
Yeah.
in the morning every day, and he went out and he acquired land.
Right? Do Do you understand this, Mark? And then my parents, right? A lot of people, they say, you don't deserve to go to a good school. That's privilege. But my parents worked very hard in 1987 to transfer the bulk of their wealth to bank accounts in Australia, all right? They worked very hard to hire a good accountant.
Yeah.
And you tell me now, Mark, that I have not worked hard? That
I didn't say that.
Check your privilege, Mark. You're telling me to check my privilege, Mark?
You don't know what it was like growing up in Perth in 1992.
Our parents worked very hard, Mark. Very hard. They got the best lawyers. They got the best accountants to transfer the bulk of their wealth to Australian bank accounts in
1987.
Do you understand this, Mark?
You made it sound
Yeah, right.
like John Leguizamo played a young John Favreau. in
This is
Chef.
ridiculous, Mark. We're
Now,
talking about
I didn't
metaphor.
bring up your privilege.
Right.
I didn't bring up eating Fruit Loops for breakfast in bed every day.
You shouldn't eat them
Every
for
day,
breakfast.
Mark. Well,
they're very high in
Do you know what
sugar.
you should have for breakfast, right? Nothing. That is why I'm subscribed to the 22-2 diet, all right? I do the
What?
22-2. 22-2. You don't eat for 22 and then you eat for 2.
You don't eat for 22 hours and then you just gorge for 2 hours.
No, you don't gorge, Mark. That's the trick, all right?
It's like
You
intermittent
do not
fasting.
eat anything. Well, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's fasting, Mark. So you
Would
don't
you like
eat
to
for
hear from
22
our
hours.
fitness advisor? Do you want to hear
Yes.
from our nutritionist?
Can I introduce the podcast first of all?
Absolutely not, Mark. We're going to get our fitness advisor in. Now, we're talking over Zoom, of course, because of the pandemic, Mark.
Right. So in this world with South African Sams, COVID-19 does exist.
Of course it does. It is a real word, Mark.
Okay,
this
all
is
right.
the truth. All right. My brother, before they shut down, all right? When it all shut down, he knows some people in the Liberal government, all right? And he wanted to go to Perth to be with our parents. So he got special permission to cross the borders, all right?
Right.
Because technically, because he works in like law and finance, that sort of thing, I don't really understand. It's like he works for the law part of the finance. But you've got to understand the economy is very important.
Very
Don't you? You just don't understand it. Whatever argument you make about ethics or morals, I'm going to shut it down by explaining that you don't understand it. Or I'll just say ethically that doesn't make... So come at me with your issues with, your lefty bullshit.
Okay, do we have the fitness advisor on the line?
No,
don't
listen,
think he
Mark,
does.
this
I'm
is not
trying
your
to feel.
podcast to
All
tell
right,
me what
all
to
right.
do and what not
I
to
was
do.
just
You asked us to
asking-
come on here and to talk to you about your Netflix show and you've not brought it up once. We've had
Well-
to fill and talk about Chef and other films.
I
Do you
would-
think that we want to come on and talk about these things? No, we want
We're
to listen
trying
to
to
you
fill.
and want you to take hold of the show.
I would
You're
love-
just sitting
Take
around.
it for the reins.
I
You're just
would
sitting in
love-
bed eating Fruit Loops every
I'm
morning.
not, I haven't eaten a Fruit Loop in, I can't even tell you how long.
You
wait
love
until-
fructose.
You wait
I can
until
tell.
6 p.m, Mark, and then you have a big smoothie with lots of fat in it, like butter and stuff. And I know you're thinking fat, that's bad, but nah, man.
Are you
You've
talking
got to have
about the
fat. That gives
22?
you the
Are you
energy,
talking
Mark.
about the 22 diet?
22-2.
22-2?
22.
22-2? 22-2.
22-2.
All right. Are
Right,
you...
yeah.
All right.
Mark.
Now,
Mark.
I would like to introduce
Mark.
the
Tell me
podcast.
your thoughts about like what your opinion is on the economy. Like
I
you
don't
can
wanna
be.
do that.
No, I just want to hear what you think about it, like from an ethical standpoint.
I
Alright?
can't-
And I'll tell you, and I'll make you feel silly.
I don't...
That's
well,
what I'll do. So you say something like, it doesn't seem right that a human-made construct is like determining the lives of people. That we as a collective have determined, a construct, and that construct can kill people. And we make decisions based on a construct that, in theory, we should be able to control. And I'll say, no, you don't understand. You don't understand because then it will go down. And then
Right.
the houses won't be worth as much. And you go, no, I'm talking ethically, like philosophically. I go, no, you don't understand. That is how I win every argument.
Well,
Mark, listen, I'm going to do my nutritionist is going to take you through how to do a diet, all right?
Okay.
So
Is it
could
birth,
you
Mark?
please explain to my friend Mark exactly how your diet works and how you've given us a diet?
Yep. Yeah.
It's a joke.
Well, I don't know the gearing up part though.
What do you do? Walk us through your diet.
You roll them up, you light them, you suck them down, boys. That's about it.
He's talking about smoking.
No, I'm talking about your diet, your fasting diet.
Oh, are you saying diet?
Right.
What do you think I was saying, diet?
Yeah, diet.
No, I'm not talking about diet.
cigarette.
Do you think I'm... Listen, I don't smoke cigarettes, Joe. I'm talking about nutritional diet.
Oh, that's way better. That's better to talk about on air. Yeah, you just fast. You just stop eating, pal.
Right, that sounds very healthy.
It sounds healthy to me. Now, can you take us through basically the sugar and how to remove it from your diet? This is from my friend Mark, who's very out of shape and he eats Fruit Loops in bed.
Oh, Fruit Loops in bed. Okay, well, it's got to go. Just no sugars, no grains. You just eat.
I lost him now, unfortunately, but
That is unfortunate. But was he talking about darts there for a second?
he's talking about cigarettes.
Sam, I heard you saying I don't smoke darts, but I saw you at the front of 7 nightclub last year. All right, I got you here, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I got you
This
here.
is I don't drink when I'm not. If I drink, I smoke. But apart from that, I don't. So like, I
So
go
what
out, I
happened-
might have a cigarette at the front of the nightclub. But that's more so to be social, Mark. See, it's
I
important to
understand that.
create a culture, right, where you are
Right.
engaged in the community, Mark. And you know, I might
So
go
what
out and have a vodka tonic and then like a little dance, meet some sweethearts, and then maybe I'll have a cigarette out the front after dancing with some sweethearts. Do you
Mark, you've
understand?
got to understand, right? Okay, we don't go clubbing very much anymore, right? We have to take it seriously. Get ourselves wives, buy ourselves a house, get a mortgage, right? But here's what happens, right? Our father, he has some friends, all right, in Sydney, and they have sons, all right? And they came to Melbourne, and they were like, all right, we're here in Melbourne, you know, and what is good to do? And we said, well, you know what? Let's take the guy to 7 nightclub, all right?
You go dance with some sweethearts.
Let's go dance with some sweethearts in little dresses, and we'll go have a little dance, you know, have a little bit of fun, and sure, you know, we have a couple of drinks, we do a little bit of cocaine, right?
Yep.
We do a little bit of cocaine, we snort that up our nostrils, right? And sure, all right, yeah, maybe we have a couple of cigarettes, all right? But here's the trick. If you move your fast to that time, all right? If you move your fast to that 2 hours, it's fine, you know?
This is
Well,
what
it's
you think.
fine.
You think life's very simple. You wake up in the morning, have Fruit Loops in bed, and then you go about your day. But it's not that simple for us, Mark, because we have structure to our lives. I have the most ripper bod.
Do you know, Mark, I have to tell you how hard I've worked for my ripper board, right? I have to wake up at 8 a.m. every day.
Right.
And I've got to be out of bed by 9.
Well,
and
Zach-
I've got to be at the gym by 10. Do you understand this, all right?
Zac Efron was talking about how with his ripper bod that he had for Baywatch
Don't
that
care about
he
Zac
never.
Efron.
Okay.
He doesn't have to work a day in his life.
Okay.
Do you understand this? He doesn't have to work a day in his life. He gets the movie millions, all right? I have to go to work after I finish the gym.
I did
Midday,
like
I
We
have
Are
to
Your
go to
Friends.
work.
That's one of my favourite movies, We Are Your Friends.
that-
So
was-
good, he plays the DJ, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
about
we're going-
finding a right sound as a DJ.
Do you understand this, though? I'm going to work. After working out for 2 hours, I'm going to the office, right, Mark? Do you understand this?
I understand. I would love to introduce the podcast,
No.
but we have been going for 20
No, I
minutes.
don't think so. We don't have time
So
today. We have to
I
get back
need
to work.
So now, rather than introducing the
We have to
podcast,
go.
I'm going to have to wrap things up.
No, you're not allowed to wrap things up, Mark.
No,
I
please
haven't
let
told
me
you
wrap
about
things
my
up.
work day, Mark.
I don't care about your work day.
Yeah,
because
I
I
understand.
want to introduce the podcast that's been going for 20 minutes.
All right, you can introduce the podcast.
Here, thanks you,
But
everyone.
first, Mark, I want you to be
No!
clear. That I want you to have a think about how you wake up in the morning and how that affects the rest of your day. Do you understand, Mark?
Right.
Does he ate the Fruit Loops still after
He
all
gets
that
in
we said
bed,
to
he
him?
sits in, he has
Don't
Fruit
eat the Fruit
Loops, he
Loops.
watches the television, he might
Are you
put on...
serious, Sam?
He watched The
Everything we
Simpsons.
said to him.
He sits in bed, watch Fruit Loops, watch The Simpsons in bed.
I cannot believe that after everything we've said to him about heart rate, about like the thick blood, all these things, he still gets up and goes, oh, I'll have a little bit of Fruit Loops. I'll watch The Simpsons. What does he watch it on Disney Plus? I don't know. What does he watch it on, Sam?
Well, recently I've switched over.
Mark, I've asked Sam the question.
Okay.
I think he watches it on Disney Plus, but he might also watch maybe DVDs. But I
Yeah,
couldn't
right,
tell you.
I have a DVD of pornos.
Yeah, yeah.
On our DVDs, right? Yeah.
I watch Foxtel. I watch my Simpsons on Foxtel. I buy Foxtel. I've got the premium account.
You think you
I'm gonna go.
It does. Okay, bye.
I'm gonna go.
Bye.
Do you want to talk about the Netflix show?
No.
No.
Sam? No?
No.
No?
Not at all, Mark.
You want to talk about anything else?
It was
Just
like a
quickly?
little blip. No. It was a little blip in my mind. A little blip.
Little beep.
I'm gonna
Now, if you
go.
want to talk about We Are Your Friends starring Zac Efron, that is a
Oh,
good
it's
movie.
a good movie, man.
Good movie.
What is your favourite bit of We Are Your Friends?
I love the bit where he DJ.
Oh, I love that way, guys. All right, I'm going to control the heartbeat of the beautiful women by turning up the beat of the music.
There's some
He actually
beautiful women in
changes
that film,
them,
Mark.
Mark. He's
There's some
like a
beautiful women in
conductor.
that film.
I
you
have
got to
not
see that
seen
film.
it. All I know is that he had a ripper bod in Baywatch.
Oh, dear.
And he was like,
I haven't seen Baywatch.
I don't know if it's worth it. He was like, at times, to get that much of a ripper bod.
You think
At
it's easy, I
times-
bet. I bet you think
No,
it's
no,
easy.
no. I don't.
Do you know
think
our
it's
diet?
easy. No, I don't think it's easy.
Our
And-
diet is we do 20 on, 2 off.
You understand this?
20 in the
We
gym. 20
eat for
hours
20
in the gym.
hours a day, Mark.
You eat
and
for
we
20
don't
hours
eat
a
for
day.
Every
3
day,
hours.
little snacks, little snacks. You don't have a full meal, you have a nut, right? A nut every minute. You have a nut every single minute for 20 hours, Mark. And you set an alarm. So you go to bed, right? And you set an alarm. Every minute you wake up,
Yeah.
you
Me
roll
at
over,
2 in the
have a
morning.
nut, go back to sleep. Have one nut. And right, if you're feeling a little bit cheeky, you can have a nut and a choc chip.
Well, on that,
That
note,
helps with satiate the need for chocolate.
Shut up.
Okay.
shut up.
All right.
Shut up.
I piss. My piss is very clear.
Is it?
Yes.
I've got a friend that you should meet. They
I
would love
play him as
man.
well.
They would love to
I
drink
play
that
him,
piss.
Mark.
You
I know
play
him because I play him.
Brayden
South African
plays him,
Sam
Mark.
plays him or
Yeah,
Brayden
I play
plays
him.
Brayden plays him. Don't you understand, Mark? We're just characters,
We're
Mark.
not real people, Mark. I'm played by Bryden and he's played by Zach.
We needed to establish some sort of rules in terms of how the characters
You think
exist
there's
within these
rules for
podcasts.
us, Mark?
Do you know South Africa,
Yeah,
Mark? Do you know
think
South
there's
Africa?
rules?
I'm aware
have to
of the. I'm
understand,
aware
Mark.
of the country.
There's no rules there, man.
There's no rules there, man.
I'm
There's
sure
no
there's some.
rules. You have to. Well, there's rules. You know, you can't come into the gate of our community unless you have a little swap card. That's a rule. You got to have a little swap card.
I'm gonna go.
You don't get in without a swap.
That's a rule for sure.
I'm
you
gonna
think that's
go.
not- Okay, bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Bye.
Bye.